It's the Potato Queen here, and it is my duty today to show you 3 different ways to cook your mashed potato, from the easiest to intermediate to expert level mash. I'll be trying all 3, rating them out of 10 and finding out if more effort really does produce the best results.
This is the expert level mashed potato, and I am taking inspiration and the recipe from the one and only Joel Robuchon. This is his mashed potato recipe. It's meant to be the world's best mashed potato recipe. This chef, to his name, has had 32 Michelin stars, okay? So this is proper, real good shit, apparently. It starts off with a whole different potato that I've ever used in a mash. This is a ratte potato. They're nuttier, smaller, and they kind of have a buttery smooth taste. We've got 1 kilo of those here. So this is serious stuff. And we're also going to boil them in the skin. Again, a method I've never really done before, but I'm very excited to try. So we've got 2 litres of water. It's very specific, again, expert level. 2 litres of water, 1 kilo of potatoes. Now we need a tablespoon of coarse salt. Coarse salt is the kind of stuff you put into your grinder at home, like your salt grinder. And this, in reality, means that it will kind of melt into the water more, like over a longer period of time. With table salt, it's so fine that actually it goes straight into the water, and this is going to take a little bit longer to dissolve. That wasn't quite a tablespoon because this spoon is not a tablespoon, so we'll go for a bit more. Then these go on the hob. With the potatoes, when they're in the water, again, to be fair, like any mashed potato recipe, they go into cold water. We're going to bring them up. Now, these come up to a simmer. We lid them and we leave them to cook. Again, another method I have never really done before for mash, so this is very exciting. But I absolutely love that this was the chef's this is what he was known for. He was known for mashed potato, and this recipe in particular. I can't wait to try it compared to what I think, because I think my mash is pretty good. Me going up against a Michelin-starred chef with 32 Michelin stars. Obviously, he has passed now, sorry, apologies. He is not here, but he did at one point have 32 Michelin stars to his name. Yeah, time to start peeling these delightful potatoes. So they are quite hot. So you can just pull the skin straight off with the tip of the knife. I've got to do 1 kilo of these. This would be, you know, if you're in his restaurant and they're like, yeah, you're on the mash today, mate. And you go, like, there must be a better way to do this. This would inevitably would have been my job if I was working in the restaurant that this dish was on. I was always put on rubbish potato prep. Little hot potatoes. Right, I'm gonna crack on with these and I'll see you in a minute. Potatoes are all peeled. My fingers are burnt, but you then throw these through a potato ricer or a moulie or a sieve or something into a saucepan. So my hands are so weak. I don't know what's happened more recently. Ah, there we go. So potato ricer is basically a big garlic press. I don't know if you know garlic press, you put the cloves in, you push them through, or a Play-Doh spaghetti hair maker for potatoes. It just means that you get a lovely consistency for mash. So it's like using a sieve, but you can just force it through rather than having to slowly sieve your potatoes. This then goes on the heat, on a low heat, and you just mix it for 5 minutes and it all dries out a little bit. So we're looking for a very dry mash. So the next step in our expert mash is a bit of a curious one for me. The step says, get a small saucepan, rinse it out, but don't drain away all of the water, and then add your milk into it. So I've got a slightly damp saucepan. We're going in with our whole milk, which we get ferociously hot, boiling hot. So that's on. Our potato is still drying out in the pan, which I've been stirring, just here. So it is nice and smooth and dry. So we'll wait for our milk and crack on. So the next step is also to add cold butter into the mash, which is on a very low heat, and you just keep it warm whilst you add, we've got posh butter as well. This is like best butter, salt crystal, delicious butter going into this. So cold cubes of butter going into mash bit by bit, incorporating it the whole time. This is a lengthy process for mash. It better be good. All the butter's in. It's nice and soft and buttery. And now we've got to get hot milk into it. So I have continuously stirred, beaten in the butter. It's very not oily, but very buttery. So it's a kilo potato, 250 grams of butter, so a whole pack of butter, and then 250 mils of whole milk as well. And we've got to do a bit of a trickle, a little bit like we're making a mayonnaise. And it's just trickling it in, making sure it's all mixed in as it goes. Right, last bit going in. This is the most I've ever mixed a mashed potato in my life. I normally don't touch it, just a couple of stirs to get the liquid in. So this is so new to me. But the more I'm mixing it, the better it's looking. Yeah, so usually when I'm making mashed potato, because of the type of potato that I'm using, I don't want to overstimulate the starches too much. So when I'm making it usually, I add the cream in, add the butter in, and I'm only mixing a few times until it's just combined. Whereas this recipe, because of the different type of potato that's used, you can really keep mixing it and it doesn't seem to be getting gluey or gloopy. It seems to be actually getting better, which is very intriguing, and I kind of want to know all the science behind it. Okay, everything is in. Last final couple of mixes just to make sure we're all combined. I mean, that does look pretty good. Also looks like something out of Oliver Twist. Let's just give it a bit of seasoning with some salt and white pepper. So, very traditional. I love white pepper, but white pepper, like in white sauces and mashes, is always the traditional way to go, so you don't get any of the black pepper like flecks, so you don't see it. So we'll go a lovely sprinkle of white pepper and a nice seasoning of salt. Final mix, and then we can serve it up. Now it's time, get the big spoon out. It's got a beautiful, beautiful consistency. I am very excited. Yeah, a little bit of finesse. Ooh. A little bit of flaky salt. I feel like I'm in a bistro. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that I'm about to try apparently the world's best mashed potato. I can't believe I haven't tried it already. So, I'm going for a big scoop. The consistency of that fork going through that was something like out of heaven. Okay, Joel, I see you. It's really good. Because we've used a different type of potato, there's actually a really lovely potato flavour. We're not just losing it to butter and milk. There is a strong potato flavour, which is from those Latte potatoes. They are slightly nuttier, it's slightly earthier, but there's a little bit of sweetness. And then the one thing is, I think I need to get it a little bit smoother once they're cooked and pushed through the potato rice. I think I need to get a smaller attachment so it's a finer sieve that they go through. But I do really like the consistency in terms of the, it's like paste almost. It's not like fluffy mash. It's like, and paste sounds negative, but it isn't. It's like, I don't know, it's like soft butter. So it's not fluffy, it's like quite thick. But the taste of it from the different potato is what I'm enjoying the most. And it's nice and it's a bit salty. You've got this nuttiness, potatoiness. This is very delicious. It was quite a lot of work. I've got to give that, I think I've got to give that a 8.9. 8.9 out of 10. I think for me, it's just that the consistency in terms of my mashing of the potatoes isn't quite consistent. It's a little bit inconsistent. A lot of consistency. But that is really good. I can see why this is probably the world's best mashed potato. For the intermediate mashed potato recipe, I'm going to be using my go-to mashed potato recipe, one of my favourites. There is already a YouTube video all about it, in depth. It's like 20 minutes long, all about one mashed potato recipe. Anyway, for it, it's fairly simple. You're gonna get Maris Pipers. They're a lovely starchy potato. You're gonna get them peeled and then cut into 1 centimetre rounds. So they're all evenly cut, same amount of area space on the potato. You get those potato slices into a pan of cold water, heavily seasoned, and get that onto the hob to cook for around 10 to 15 minutes until they're just nice and knife tender and falling off the end of the knife when you poke it in. Drain them off and then get that colander that you've drained them into over the pan, put a tea towel over it, let them steam for about 5-10 minutes as well. In that time, you're gonna heat up some cream, double cream, in a little pan and cube up your butter. And then tip the lovely potatoes into a sieve over a bowl and then put your butter in with them, push them through the sieve so they're lovely and fine and fluffy with all that butter, and then you add the warm cream into that lovely sieved mashed potato at the bottom, only stirring it a couple of times to bring it all together. There you have it. This is our intermediate mash. Delicious, pale, fluffy, buttery, creamy. I am a double cream kind of person. And this is my go-to. So it's been passed through a sieve. It just should be super, super fluffy. This is a big spoon of mash. Fluffy, delicious mash. Get some chives. The only way I serve my mashed potato now is just with chives and salt on. A little touch of salt. That looks pretty good. That's our intermediate mash. I'm also excited about this delicious mashed potato because I love mashed potato, and intermediate for me is just like my go-to delicious recipe. It's super fluffy. It's got this beautiful texture of like savoury marshmallow fluff. Perfect for mashed potato. Definitely what you want to dunk your gravy into, but it's still got that lovely potatoey flavour. It's very subtle, creamy, buttery, completely smooth and fluffy, but holds its shape, which is the kind of mashed potato that I like. I think that potato is probably a 9 out of 10. Is that really biased because it's my recipe? Probably, but that's just the way that I really like my mashed potato. I think it's delicious, and I think that is the go-to, or should be the go-to, for everybody. I'm going to be testing what I think is the most beginner's way to make mashed potato, which is in fact with this. These are potato flakes. They're instant freeze-dried potato smash, everyone calls it smash in the UK. I'm really excited to try. I haven't actually tried this. I might have tried it when I was very, very young. Like, it might have been something that I've eaten, but I have never made it, and I don't know really what it tastes like. And I know I'm the potato queen, but if this is really easy and great for beginners who don't have a lot of cooking knowledge, then I'm all right with it. We just got to see whether it does taste like cardboard or it tastes like mashed potato. For one portion, it's 30 grams of smash and 150 grams of boiling water. It's just water. Could you put milk in? Anyway, we'll do a 3-portioner, just so I've got enough. So I need 90 grams of this, and I need 450 ml of boiling water, and then you mix it with a fork. You don't even need, it's not even like, oh yeah, take some time. Chef's tip though, we love that. For an even more smashing taste, add butter or milk and season with salt or pepper. Okay, so this really has nothing else in it, does it? It's got no flavour, just got a lot of emulsifiers. I'll get the kettle on. We've got 450 ml of boiling water. We need 90 grams of smash. So I'm doing this to the book. This looks, oh, it doesn't smell like anything. It smells like, what are those really rubbish instant oats as well? It feels a little bit like that. Not rubbish, but they look a little bit like, it's just flakes, isn't it? You know what, I bet you could use this in some really good potato recipes that isn't necessarily this. And then 450 ml of boiling water. And then we just fork it, apparently. Oh, well, you know what? Got some dry bits left, but that hasn't taken a very long time at all, has it really? I don't know why I'm surprised. It's literally instant mash. It's quite fluffy. It's very smooth. Everything seems to have dissolved, which is good. It just worries me that there's no milk or butter or anything super tasty in it. I'm going to try and plate this up to make it look like it is an instant mashed potato. So I'm going to do like a quenelle of mash. You know, like when you get it at a posh restaurant and it's in a little... Makes quite a lot. It's a bit crumbly. Kind of the best I'm doing. I'm gonna get some chives. I'm gonna do chives on top. I'm gonna add a bit of salt. I think it really, I did have a, you can make anything look nice if you try. Smash, the instant mashed potato. This is the beginner mashed potato. It's probably the easiest way you will ever be able to make mashed potato. It did look like cardboard when it first came out of the tub, but now it doesn't look too bad at all. It's got a nice texture. It's quite fluffy, which is good. You do want a fluffy mash. It's just so quick that I'm apprehensive. That is not as bad. That is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It needs a lot more of something, but if you wanted to add some butter or salt whilst you actually made it, I actually don't think that's that bad. And I'm scared because it isn't, the texture's really nice. It doesn't really taste much of potato. It tastes more of like nothing. It doesn't taste of anything. You know, like sometimes potatoes are so plain, they don't really taste of anything, so you need to add flavour into it. So it does need some cream, some butter, some salt, some pepper. But it isn't bad and it's very easy. Like it took, what, less than a minute? I'm gonna have, for beginners, instant mashed potato, I'm gonna have to give that a good solid 6. It needs a little bit of flavour, it needs a bit of improvement, but the ease of it is quite incredible. I love the difference you can see. The colour of the expert one is gorgeous. That yellowy butteriness coming from the potatoes, coming from the butter as well, with a beautiful consistency. And then, I've got to say, the beginner, the smashed potato, if you amped it up, pimped it up a little bit, added some butter, added some milk, I actually don't think that's that bad at all. But, like I said, my go-to for me is intermediate. It's a fairly simple process, it's full of fat, and it's delicious. You know, if you enjoy watching a chef who's trained for 10 years in Michelin-Starred restaurants and, you know, in London and that, make instant mashed potato, then please do like, share and subscribe to my channel, because I'll be doing a hell of a lot more of that, because it's so